Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. Liam Douglas here, and in today's video we're going to be doing an unbox and review of the new Insta360 GO3S thumb-sized action camera. But before we get into all of the details about this new camera, let's go ahead and roll the intro. Okay, so as I mentioned before the intro, in today's video we're going to be taking a look at the Insta360 GO3S. Now this is a newer thumb-size action camera from the good folks at Insta360. They've been making incredible action cameras for quite a few years now. And I'm going to go ahead and pull this bad boy out. Now this is the Insta360 GO3S, and as you can see, it looks very much just like the original Insta360 GO3, which I also have here. Let me go ahead and pull it out for you so I can show them to you. And you can see both the cameras for yourself. So I'm going to go ahead and pull the original GO3 out of the action pod. And here we have in my left hand the GO3S. And here we have in my right hand the original GO3. And as you can see, the two cameras look physically identical, and they are pretty much. I mean, there's not a whole lot of difference to them in the physical characteristics. However, there are quite a few differences under the hood. So let's get into all those details. Now, the GO3S comes with a variety of mounts. If you buy the bundle, just like the original GO3, you get the action pod housing for it, which turns it into a full-size action camera with a beautiful 2.2-inch color touchscreen that flips up, making shooting your video much easier. You can even use this as a remote live streaming monitor while you have the actual camera somewhere else. You also get the pivoting tripod head to go with the camera if you buy the bundle, and you get the hat clip so you can wear the camera on your hat. And then last but not least, you do get the necklace lanyard where you can wear the camera around. You can put this around your neck, hide it underneath your shirt, and then just attach the camera to the outside of your shirt for shooting video that way. And you've seen me do that before. I've used this, this necklace quite a bit, and I did show it to you when I was doing my original video on the original Insta360 GO3. Now, what are the differences between the GO3S and the GO3? Well, first of all, the GO3S is now capable of shooting 4K 30p video. And in 1080p, it can go as high as 200 frames per second for ultra slow motion video. Now, in addition to that, the GO3S has the ability to be submerged up to 10 meters or 33 feet, where the original GO3 can only be submerged up to 5 meters or 16 feet. And that is without the action pod. The action pod is not waterproof. You cannot submerge that. You will ruin it, just to let you know. Now, in addition to those changes, the GO3S also only comes in a 64 gigabyte and 128 gigabyte internal storage models, where the original GO3, you could buy it in 32 gigs, 64 gigs, or 128 gigs. And of course, the reason for that, it's logical because of the fact that 4K video requires much more storage capacity than 2.7K from the original GO3. It only makes sense that they would limit the capacity to 64 and 128. Now, I personally would have liked to seen them offer 64, 128, and 256, but for whatever reason, they didn't opt to go with that option. Now, another brand new feature that the GO3S has that the GO3 doesn't have is it has built-in Find My capabilities. So now it's actually possible to link this little camera module directly with the Find My app on your iPhone or iPad so that you can track the camera at all times. Now, the 4K and the Find My capability was something that a lot of Insta360 users have been asking for, and it's really great that Insta360, as usual, listens to their customers and provides those solutions when they release a new product. I think that's absolutely fantastic. Now, of course, the Find My capability and the 4K weren't something they could give the original GO3 with just a firmware update. It required new hardware. So those new items are in the GO3S that are not in the original GO3. Now, the other thing is, besides the difference in 4K video and the Find My capabilities, tracking capabilities, the GO3S is limited to 140 minutes of total record time if you're using the camera inside the action pod, where the original GO3 could shoot for 170 minutes when added or mounted inside the action pod. So, of course, again, that makes sense. 4K video is more demanding on the battery. The Find My tracking capabilities probably doesn't use a lot of juice, but it does use some. So it's understandable that you're going to lose 30 minutes of record time getting the 4K functionality and the Find My capabilities in the camera as well. But aside from that, both the cameras work, function, and look pretty much the same. They both have the magnetic back. They both use the same mounting accessories. Now, Insta360 did come out with some really cool brand new accessories for the GO3S. I don't have them here with me. I have them on order, but they haven't arrived yet. They've created a new generation of the necklace mount that I have on its way to me, and they've also created a new dock that's called the Quick Reader. Now, the Quick Reader I'll talk about in a future video, but basically it's a mount, a small mount that allows you, well, here I have one that's somewhat similar, but this is just a body mount for the GO3 or 3S by itself. This is made by 𝐵𝐈𝐒, so a shout out to them. And you can mount your GO3 or GO3S in this, and it not only gives you the standard action camera fingers that fold down, and it's an all aluminum mount, which I absolutely love, makes it very durable, but it also has a port on the back so you can plug it into USB-C and charge the GO3 or GO3S without using the action pod, which I think is awesome. Now, the Quick Reader that Insta360 has released to go with the GO3 and the GO3S is similar in design to this mount, but it's not a mount. What it is it's a dock, a small dock, that allows you to mount the camera in it, either the GO3 or the GO3S, and it gives you flip out USB-C or lightning connectors so that you can plug the camera directly into your phone and download your content directly into your camera roll without the need for the action pod or your computer, which is really cool. And you don't have to use the Insta360 app, which can transfer your content, but then you're doing it over Wi-Fi, and it's of course going to be slower. So you got to keep that in mind. Now, with the Quick Reader mount, you have the option of Lightning or USB-C, so Insta360 was nice enough to think of both iPhone and Android users with those functionalities. And I've been told you can also mount either I'm not sure if it's an SD or a micro SD card into the Quick Reader, so you can download your content directly to the memory card off the camera and not even need your phone to do that, which I think is totally cool. And it's so fantastic that Insta360 is constantly innovating with new ways to help out content creators like myself and any of you out there that might be using action cameras. Okay, now the other key difference between the GO3S and the GO3 is the original GO3 had a maximum aperture of f2.2, which is really good, makes the camera fairly capable in low light. Now, the GO3S has a maximum aperture of f2.8, which is nothing to sneeze at. Most of your best telephoto lenses in photography and videography are f2.8, so that's understandable. And I'm assuming they probably had to go with f2.8 instead of f2.2 to accommodate the 4K sensor and the Find My chip and stuff like that, which makes total sense. Now, I'm sure you're asking yourself, is it a worthy upgrade? If I've already got the GO3, should I get the GO3S? Well, it depends on your situation. If you need 4K video and you like the idea of having the Find My tracking capabilities as well as twice the depth waterproof submergence capability, you know, going from 5 meters to 10 meters or 16 to 33 feet, without it harming the camera, then yes, the GO3S is going to be a worthy upgrade for you. Now, I'm sure you're sitting there saying, but I just bought my GO3, 6 months ago, 3 months ago, a year ago. I spent close to $400 when I bought it, with sales tax and all that good stuff. And now I've got to spend that much money or more to get the new GO3S. Well, not exactly. Insta360 thought of that as well, and my hat is off to them for doing so. And again, they're not a sponsor of this channel. They didn't give me this camera. I bought it myself. And they have no say in what I tell you in this video. They don't get to see this video until you, the audience, see this video. But getting back to where I was a moment ago, they thought of you, the consumer, when they released the GO3S. Why? Because the GO3S, now let me give you the pricing. The GO3 is $319 US for the standard bundle, which gives you all the accessories I showed you here. You get the action pod, you get the necklace mount, you get the pivoting tripod mount, and you get the clip mount for your hat, your baseball cap. And $319 is marked down because originally I believe the GO3 was $399. So you're getting the camera now as the standard bundle for about $70 off, which is pretty good savings. Now, the GO3S with the exact same standard bundle with the exact same accessories is $399, like the GO3 used to be. But, and here's the best part, you're really going to love this, Insta360 has decided to offer the GO3S as a standalone camera module. What? That's insane! As a standalone camera module? Absolutely, and that's how I acquired mine. You notice the box that I took the camera out of is extremely small. It's because I bought the camera-only module, because the GO3S works with the GO3's action pod. So if you've already got a GO3, you don't need to pay extra for a second action pod. You can use the one you've already got. And if you get the quick reader or this Ulanzi mount, which I'll put the link for this down below, then you have the ability to charge both cameras at the same time. You can charge one in the action pod and one on this Ulanzi mount, or one on the Insta360 quick reader mount. So you've got the best of both worlds there. Now, how much is the standalone camera? Well, I'm glad you asked. You can get the 64GB version of the Insta360 GO3S for $239 at the Insta360 store. And I'll have an affiliate link down below so you can pick one up. Now, don't worry, it's an affiliate link, but that does not mean you pay anything extra to buy the camera. You get it for the same price as me and anybody else that doesn't use my affiliate link. The only difference is if you use my link, you're supporting the channel, which I would greatly appreciate, and it just makes it easier for me to make more content like this for you in the future. So if you'd support the channel by using the affiliate link, I would greatly appreciate that. Now, I'm going to share some sample footage with you right here that was shot with the GO3 and the GO3S side by side. It's just going to be some stock footage, just a few seconds of each. And I'll put them in this video side by side so you can see the difference between the 4K resolution and the 2.7K resolution. And then I'll come back and wrap up this video. Okay, so as you were able to see in my sample footage, there is quite a difference between the 4K resolution and the 2.7K resolution. Of course, that's a no-brainer. I just wanted to show you a few seconds of sample footage from both cameras taken at the same time so that you could see it for yourself. All right, now, one other thing I wanted to share in the tail end of this video is Insta360 sent out a teaser that they have an event coming up. I believe it's on the 22nd of this month, so just in a couple of days. And the teaser says that they are going to announce the Real Pro. And I was intrigued by that. So I sat and thought about it for a little bit, and I was like, you know what? I have a feeling they're getting ready to announce the Insta360 Ace Pro Mark II. So I have a feeling that might be the new camera that's coming. Now, what could they improve on the Ace Pro over the original Ace Pro? The Ace Pro already has 8K video. It has stunning resolution. It has great low light capabilities. It is a fantastic action camera, and it's my new flagship action camera after I got rid of all my GoPros and the Osmo Action 3 and 4 that I used to have. So what could they possibly do to improve on the Ace Pro Mark II? Well, one thing I think they could do to improve on it, and I sent it to them as a suggestion, and I hope they take it into advisement, is I would like to see the Ace Pro have better battery life. Now, don't get me wrong, I'm not talking about when you're shooting video. It has great video life when you're shooting video. However, just like the GoPros, the Ace Pro has a tendency to drain its battery when the camera is just sitting stored in a camera case or bag for an extended period of time. The GoPros were afflicted with the same issue. So I wrote to Insta360, I have a contact there, and I asked them to talk to their firmware people and see if there was something they could do firmware-wise, or maybe they have to make a change hardware-wise, which hopefully they have in the new Ace Pro 2. And when the Ace Pro 2 becomes available, I will be doing an unboxing review of that camera as well. But getting back to my point about battery life, and I'm not bashing Insta360 or GoPro, I don't want you to think that, but DJI really has their ducks in a row. And the reason why I say that is my Osmo Action 4, and I'm sure the new Osmo Action 5 is the same way, I could put a fully charged battery in that camera, store it in its camera bag for 2 months, pull it out to shoot some content with it, turn it on, and it would only lose 2% battery life after sitting for 2 months not being used. That is incredible. Now, unfortunately, with my Ace Pro and with the GoPros I used to use, if you leave a fully charged camera in the battery in the camera, and you leave it in a camera bag or just sitting on your table or shelf or whatever for a couple of months, when you power that sucker back up, the battery is going to be down to like 20%. So I would definitely love to see them improve on the battery life when the camera is not being utilized. I don't know if they can fix it with firmware or if they would have to do it with a different chip of some sort inside the camera itself, but I asked them to have their people work on it, because if they had that capability in the Ace Pro, then they would hands down crush everybody in the action camera market. Now, don't get me wrong, it's not that they aren't already crushing GoPro. They have been from the beginning. Their cameras are just way better. They have better technology, better resolution, and better low light performance. But if they could get us that really, really slow drain of the battery when the camera is not being used and it's just stored like the Osmo Action cameras have, then they would have the best of everything in the Ace Pro, and it would make myself and a lot of Ace Pro shooters extremely happy. I'm absolutely certain of that, no doubt about it. All right, I'm going to go ahead and wrap up this video. I want to thank you once again for taking the time to watch it. Please remember to subscribe down below, turn on all notifications, like and share the video out on social media, share it out to your friends and family, and ask them to give it a watch. And I will see you again in the next video.